populated. In order for civilization to maintain itself, it must have a fertility rate of 2.11 kids per woman. Historically, no culture has ever reversed a 1.9 fertility rate.
So don't pretend like you're so concerned about the future of your country if you constantly push ideas that are so blatantly damaging for everyone.
Women have ruined society because we let them. That's what's happened.
Hey guys, so Andrew Tate made this tweet. If men can be forced to fight in the army to preserve the nation, then women should be forced to have children to preserve the nation. This type of argument is very common. It basically equates military service with women having kids. Let's just talk about why it's a ridiculous argument and it just doesn't make sense at all. But before we continue, please give me a like and consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. First of all, on a very basic level, we don't have a draft now. It's true that almost all male US citizens and male immigrants are required to register with selective service, and in an event of a national emergency, they could be drafted into military service. But here's the thing, the last draft happened during the Vietnam War. So 2 generations of American men have not been drafted into any war while someone was giving birth to all these people. While for an average man in this country, fighting in a war is a hypothetical thing and something that he will likely not ever have to go through, reproduction is a very real thing that happens to almost every woman. Maybe we're not having enough children, but we are having children. So guys, it really doesn't work in your favor to equate the two. If women start treating reproduction the way men treat military service nowadays, we'll just go extinct in a matter of decades. The second point here is much deeper.
In the next 100 years. I don't think the world is overpopulated. I think we're underpopulated. In order for civilization to maintain itself, it must have a fertility rate of 2.11 kids per woman. Historically, no culture has ever reversed a 1.9 fertility rate, okay, historically. And a rate of 1.3 is mathematically impossible to reverse. Where are we right now in Europe? France, 1.8. England, 1.6. Greece, 1.3. Dead. Germany, 1.3. Dead. Italy, 1.2. Dead. Spain, 1.1.
Low birth rates are a very real problem for the Western world, and a lot of people like to blame it on women. But is that really fair? The truth is that reproduction always involves 2 people. There are men who pressure their wives or girlfriends to abort. Men provide most of the financial support when raising children, and some of them feel that they don't want to have kids. A study conducted by Pew Research Center in 2023 reveals that 47% of childless adults under the age of 50 say that they are unlikely to ever have children. 57% cite as a reason that they simply don't want to. Another major reason is that they want to focus on other things. Large majorities also see major financial and lifestyle benefits to not having children, such as being able to focus on their hobbies or have a successful career. Those findings don't vary significantly by gender. Another study titled Prevalence and Characteristics of Child-Free Adults in Michigan did not find any significant gender differences when it came to a child-free status. And child-free was defined as an explicit lack of desire to have children. Basically, it takes 2 to tango. And unfortunately, in today's society, men are just as likely as women to not want to have children. For women to have a lot of children, or at least as many as we need to stay at their placement level, we need enthusiastic and supportive partners, and that's not so easy to find these days. Another point is that Andrew Tate and his followers are really anti-marriage. Andrew Tate's message for young men is that marriage and monogamy are for losers. You should sleep with multiple women, but don't chain yourself to one specific woman. But number 1, married adults have more children than unmarried adults. Number 2, children living with married parents do much better based on any imaginable metric. They are less likely to have behavioral and psychological problems. They're less likely to be poor, and so on. So don't pretend like you're so concerned about the future of your country if you constantly push ideas that are so blatantly damaging for everyone. Bottom line is, fertility is a shared outcome. So both men and women are responsible for lower birth rates in developed countries. I do believe that women bear more responsibility because they're the ones bearing children, but this is also a larger societal problem. I'm sure that each of you knows young men who are either chronically online, wasting their life on video games, or they're just like partying really hard and they don't think about marriage or having children. When you have a society that is full of selfish, materialistic, and pleasure-oriented people, they will avoid doing things that require hardship, commitment, and sacrifice. And this is what having children is all about. I do think that this will lead to the downfall of the West. Anyway, to blame all of this on women is unfair and inaccurate, and it also doesn't solve the problem. It just makes women angry because it's an unfair accusation, and it makes men angry because now they feel like victims. The result is a lot of mutual bitterness, and society can't function like that. We need to encourage cooperation and mutual respect between men and women. When men and women go to war against each other, society collapses. You can see this angry dynamic playing out on social media, especially on X.
Cut the bullshit. It's not the fucking Jews. It's the fucking women. Women have ruined society because we let them. That's what's happened.
This is just not constructive. And if you are playing this blaming game, you are also part of the problem. In general, if you're analyzing a complex problem that exists in society and your solution is to blame one specific group, you're just wrong, because truth is extremely complex. And you're just a bad actor or an idiot if you think that you can point your finger at one specific group and be like, hey, I just figured it out. I know what the problem is. So to all the manosphere people and Andrew Tate's fans, blaming women for every problem in society is just as dumb as blaming men for every problem in society, which is obviously what feminism did. And I get it, you guys are reacting to feminism, but you are very quickly turning into the very thing that you claim to hate. You are adapting the same tactics. At this point, you guys are just a mirror image of feminism. And normal men and women really don't need you guys, because we reject extremism and it doesn't matter which side it's coming from.